Uprooted fam, what is up?
So, reason we're coming to y'all on Monday
A little early in the week.
is because we thought, with tomorrow being such a big day in Kentucky's history, that we wanted to make sure that you knew some of the main candidates tomorrow and the kind of the way they stand on medical marijuana. And we're not going to go into any deeper than the actual marijuana, medical marijuana stances.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, we wanted to shed some light here. Tomorrow is a big day.
Yep.
Being election eve right now, we just wanted to chime in and disclaimer right off the bat.
No experts.
We're not into politics. But luckily, in our field, there are very passionate people out there that do make, voting a lot easier on us because, these passionate people are willing to do the research, and, that's a beautiful thing. I'm so grateful.
So we reached out to Kentuckians for medical marijuana and just asked them. Last year they did, our last voting cycle, they did a really nice, it was just kind of like a little PDF file that kind of showed different what candidates were pro or against medical marijuana here in Kentucky.
Right.
So we wanted to make sure that, we reached out to them, and they didn't do a guide this year, but they did send out some, I forgot who, I would love to be able to credit.
It is, hold on, I'm going to scroll to the top here. It is Kristen in Wilcox. I don't know who you are, but thank you for putting this together. I think she is affiliated with the Kentuckians for medical marijuana. So
Yes.
Big shout out. Thank you for compiling these, because what we're going to share with you tonight is just some of the quotes on where the candidates you're going to be casting a ballot for tomorrow stand. As far
and again,
as
this is just medical marijuana, just their stance on this. We're not gonna. We like I said, that we want to just make sure that you know who you're voting for and the way that they're thinking.
yeah.
So in the piece that we're getting ready to start reading and kind of naming off, we're going to cover the governor's race. Everybody knows what the governor does and who the governor and the responsibilities. We're going to talk about the attorney general's race. So if you don't know what the attorney general is, the attorney general is the top legal office in the state. Some people call him the people's lawyer, because they're going to go in and be able to represent us on the big cases and the things like that. Bashir's our state attorney right now.
Mm-hmm.
So
some people call him the honcho, head honcho.
So then we're also voting on Commissioner of Agriculture. So that's the head of the state's agriculture department, and the ag department in Kentucky is the one that started the whole hemp pilot program. So we'll see. Hopefully this, and then we'll keep going so we don't get sidetracked. We're also voting on treasurer. The treasurer records, monitors, reconciles all transactions within the state depository and checking. So that's somebody that you've got to have high moral character for to.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you're handling the money. You're in charge of the checkbook.
And then lastly, these are just, again, there's a couple other things that we're voting on, but this is what we have quotes for. The auditor's race. And the auditor supervises and has administrative rights all over the accounting and financial functions of the state. An auditor act as a watchdog over other state agencies, internal audits, and or fraud allegations. So, again, going to be one of those things where moral fiber is more important.
Very important.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, very much so. And we just shared a link in the comment section here. So that Ballotpedia that you see there, if you want to check that out, that'll tell you exactly who your candidates are and exactly what positions you will be voting for tomorrow. So
the governor's race is kind of, it's down to the Republican candidate, which is Bevin. Bevin has kind of flip-flopped around with saying he backed medical marijuana, but then he's also had some other things where he said that, marijuana legalization leads to homelessness and ER visits and disease and things like that.
Yeah,
so you don't know if he's playing to constituents and all that, but this whole government, right now, we kind of see where he stands already.
Yeah, he doesn't seem all the way informed on the issue yet.
So Bashir, this is a quote. I support placing medical marijuana legalization on the ballot as a constitutional amendment and would vote in its favor. I would vote for it because I've seen the impact of opiates have had on every Kentucky community. So many Kentucky families had seen a loved one fall into addiction and their lives have been devastated. If medical marijuana is an alternative and gives the people a chance to get pain relief without being subjugated to opiates, I think it's something that we've got to explore. That comes straight from AndyBashir.com.
Yeah, that's a very good stance there.
And also, Bevin did say in February 12th of 2019, patients should have the ability to use a natural drug that exists to provide relief when it's needed, where it can be prescribed and regulated as we would such other drugs. And that was in the Courier Journal in February 12th.
Yeah.
And
it seems like both sides are.
You want to read the third part, the Libertarian candidate?
Yeah, so we got John Hicks, our Libertarian candidate here, and his quote is, "State and local governments are not constitutionally obligated to enforce federal law. They have the right to do so selectively based on the consciousness of the citizens. I support the outright legalization of the entire cannabis genus, industrial hemp, medical, and recreational marijuana." So definitely the more liberal approach there.
Sure. And those are going to be your top candidates. So that's between Bevin, Bashir, and Hicks. Mm-hmm. Again, we're not affiliated with any party or anything like that. Yeah. We just try to put information out.
Just want you to know the facts.
So as far as the Attorney General's race goes, that's between Daniel Cameron, who is a Republican candidate, who I've kind of watched the news lately. He had to actually fight to win, fight to be on the ballot because he said that there's some things that came out, so he wasn't a lawyer long enough, things like that. But
okay.
It's cool to see him on there. But his views on medical marijuana. So whatever medical benefit, this is Daniel Cameron. Whatever medical benefits that people talk about as it's related to marijuana, or medical marijuana, I think you can find those same benefits in hemp. I'm not inclined to be in support of medical marijuana. And that was February 27th of 2019.
So he's clearly in support of hemp, but not medical marijuana. And that's Daniel Cameron, the Republican candidate there. We got Greg Stumbo for the Democratic Party. If we can legalize something that eases the pain and suffering of Kentuckians, often with fewer side effects than pharmaceuticals, then we should. It is that simple. I will continue to be a leader on this matter and include medical marijuana legislation as an issue I actively advocate for to the General Assembly.
So, and that's this is for Andy Bashir's position right now. So Stumbo, so there's not an incumbent in this race. The incumbent, of course, in the governor's race is going to be Bevin.
Yeah.
So
we got Commissioner of Agriculture next here.
So you got your Republican candidate. His name is Ryan Quarles. As for medical marijuana, we are instead focused on taking hemp as far as we possibly can. Medical marijuana would imperil.
Big words.
States, not any way, shape, or form, saying that we're geniuses.
Yeah.
Would impair the state's young industrial hemp program, or the industrial hemp industry in Kentucky state as a clean atmosphere for hemp growers.
So clearly in
that was
favor
4/17 of 2019. So that was right there in April. That was right before 420.
Yeah. So you got Robert Haley Conway. Democratic candidate here. I absolutely support the legislation of medical marijuana. Why would you not want to do something that would make someone's life a little bit better, a little less painful, a little more tolerable? And that's from October 1st, so very recent quote. It's very clear where Robert Conway stands there. So
it seems like a lot of the Democrats are leaning, especially for medical.
Medical marijuana. Yeah.
So treasurer's race, we have Allison Ball as treasurer. I talked. This is her quote. 10/1/19. So this is the same night as the. Yeah. As treasurer, I talked to other treasurers a lot around the country about marijuana, and at this point, marijuana has been a nightmare for banking because it's prohibited at the federal level. I would caution anybody not to jump in until it's fixed at the federal level because it's creating a lot of problems.
All right.
As a treasurer, as somebody who's going to be looking at the books, I could see how this could be.
By the numbers, yeah.
Yeah. If you are looking at it, we've lost credit card processing. It's been something that we really. It's definitely it's a big thing. I could see. I mean, it's a.
The numbers have been a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah.
So then, for the treasurer's race, Democratic candidate, we've got Michael Bowman. We have billions of unfounded liabilities simply because the legislature hasn't kept its promise. We have to fund it. So making sure that we do that is going to be more than just making an appropriation from the revenues that we come in. I don't know if that's typed correctly there. That means things like expanding gaming legislation of cannabis, whether it's medical or even a conversation about recreational use. So it sounds like Michael is up for discussion there.
About the challenge. Yeah, sees the challenges, but also sees that,
Yeah, he's leaving the door open. So
that was...
that was the treasurer.
10/24/19. So that was just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And then auditor's race. Your Republican candidate is Mike Harmon. Harmon has refused to provide voters with positions on key issues despite repeated requests. And that's from votesmart.org.
Mm-hmm. And then we've got Sherry Donahue. I support legalization of medical marijuana immediately for chronic pain sufferers, veterans, the opioid epidemic, and economic benefit. We can review the option of recreational marijuana. So clearly in favor of helping people that need it medicinally. And that seems to be across the board as far as our Democratic candidates tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So also, if you see me out at the polling place, I will be expressing my cannabis freedoms and wearing my leaf as I cast my vote. So I'll get some pictures of that tomorrow. But
post them up.
Yeah.
Let everybody know where you stand tomorrow. If you get a chance to talk to somebody in line or something
for sure.
about cannabis, definitely do that. Do it in a constructive manner. Nobody wants to argue or anything, but it's something that we could all get behind, either side of the fence.
Yeah, and it's definitely a bipartisan issue for sure. And again, we don't want to tell you who to vote for. It's all about, we just want to give you all the stance since you are watching this through our Facebook. We know that you're probably a proponent of hemp. So if we're able to take this to the next level, we could all be on, it would be a really nice level for Kentucky to get to. And it'd be really cool to see this next governor's name, whether it be Hicks or whether it be Bashir or whether it be Bevan's name on the bill, signing a medical bill in. So tomorrow's really important. Whoever takes office could possibly be the first governor to sign in medical marijuana in Kentucky.
Yeah, quite likely.
Yeah, we just got to make sure that bill's good.
Yes. So go out tomorrow, make your voice be heard, get out there early, and be safe.
Yeah, definitely. Exercise the right that you have and get out there and vote.
Yeah. We love you, Rooted fam. We'll see you soon. Happy Election Day, y'all.